In this video, we are going to learn all about classifying triangles, and we're going to classify triangles by their sides and then by their angles. But first, let's review the different parts of a triangle. Here we have a triangle, X, Y, Z. So this triangle can be named triangle XYZ, triangle ZYX, triangle YXZ, triangle YZX, or so on. A triangle has three different sides, or three different edges. XY is one side, YZ is another side, and ZX is the final and third side. Each triangle also has three different angles: angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. And don't forget about the vertices, the point at which the edges meet. The first way we're going to classify triangles is by the sides. Starting off by classifying a triangle based on the sides, we're going to have a scalene. For a scalene triangle, no two sides are congruent. Next we have isosceles, and an isosceles triangle has two congruent sides. As you can see in this picture, we have a base and then two sides that are congruent. Next we have an equilateral triangle. And that is where all three sides are congruent, as shown in this example picture. The first side is congruent to the second side, second congruent to the third, third congruent to the first, and so on. So we start with a scalene, where no sides are congruent, isosceles, two sides are congruent, and an equilateral, all three sides of the triangle are congruent. And this is how you classify a triangle by the sides. So let's classify a triangle now by the angles. First, we have an acute triangle, and an acute triangle is where all angles are acute. Remember, acute means that the angles are less than 90 degrees. So all three angles on this triangle that I've drawn are less than 90 degrees. A way to find out if an angle is acute is just to measure on your protractor. Next, we have an obtuse triangle. And that triangle has one angle that is obtuse. And obtuse means that it's greater than 90 degrees. This first angle that I've noted is greater than 90 degrees. The other two angles will always be acute. Since a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, you may only ever have one obtuse angle in a triangle. Lastly, we have a right triangle. And a right triangle is where one angle is right, or equal to 90 degrees. And remember, the symbol for representing 90 degrees within a picture is completing the box. Those are the three different types of triangles when classifying by angles: acute, all interior angles are acute; obtuse, one interior angle is obtuse; and right, one interior angle is right. There is one more special case that only occurs for an acute triangle. And that is called equiangular, meaning that all the angles are congruent. So this is a subtriangle within the acute triangles. And that would be where the 3 acute angles are all congruent. In this video, we went over classifying triangles by the different sides and by the different angles.